What's going on, everybody? My name's Tenebrous Infinite, and today I'm going to be talking with you dudes about experimental medkit stacking. With the latest update in Generation Zero, we saw the introduction of a bunch of new experimental schematics for ammo and medkits. For the medkits, we saw two medkits added to the game. Radiational medkits that give you infinite stamina, and medical medkits that give you a crazy amount of regeneration. But both of them come with their own deficits. The radiational medkits give you radiation damage while they're giving you that infinite stamina, and the medicinal medkits slow you down to a crawl while you're having that crazy healing. But today I'm going to teach you dudes how to get around those deficits and get only the positives from those experimental medkits. So really quickly first, to explain what medkit stacking actually is here in Generation Zero. Medkit stacking is when you take two different types of medkits and combine them together to get two alternative rates of healing. So say for instance taking the standard medkit and then taking the simple medkit, you'll get this kind of staggered healing rate. And then you'll also see that I'm still continuing to heal from the simple medkit afterwards. Every medkit in the game has their own amount of health that they heal, duration that they heal, and rate that they heal you at. So when you combine multiple different types of medkits, you wind up getting the benefits of multiple different types of healing rates. Now, in Generation Zero, there are a multitude of status ailments that you can see in the game, with a number of them being brand new just as of the recent update. But the nameable ones are biohazard damage, radiation damage, fire damage, and then kind of status effect of the tar. Now, out of all of these status effects, there's only one that is not negatable by medkits, and that is biohazard damage. But all of the other status ailments go away when you apply the healing effect to your character. So with the ability to negate certain status effects in mind by utilizing some sort of a medkit to apply the healing effect to our character, let's use the Radioactive First Aid Kit to give ourselves that infinite stamina kind of regeneration effect. And while we're taking that radiation damage, we're going to pop ourselves a medkit. And you dudes could see here that we're getting that constant stamina regen effect from the Radioactive First Aid Kit, but we've cured ourselves of that radioactive damage that we were taking. And now the medkit has run out. And if you're wondering if there's like a downside to this, like maybe you get less stamina regen or something like that, it actually works out to being the exact same amount of infinite stamina. The only difference is you get maybe a couple more steps into your sprint when you just use the medkit, because you aren't fumbling around pulling out another medkit in the process. But you can see here that our stamina starts draining at pretty much the exact same spot. Now, for the medical medkits, it's a bit of a different situation because it's a much smaller window that you have to medkit stack. When your health is at 100%, you can't take another medkit. So that means that you have a very tight window to take your medical first aid kit and take a simple first aid kit to get rid of that tar effect. It can be pretty tight to pull off, but maintaining that constant super regen while not having the tar effect can be a huge game changer in the middle of combat. And the last way you could stack these medkits up is by taking a medical first aid kit first and then a radioactive first aid kit second. So you take the medical first aid kit for that constant health regen, then you take the radioactive for that constant stamina, and at the same time you get rid of the tar effect from the medical first aid kit. It's a pretty expensive wombo combo in the end because it costs you uranium to craft both of these medkits, but the wombo combo is pretty powerful. Now, the sole reason why you want to use the medical first and then use the radioactive is because if you use the radioactive first and then the medical, you wind up actually giving yourself that tar effect. So you wind up slowing yourself down, which kind of defeats the purpose of getting that infinite stamina, or just crazy stamina regen, that the radioactive first aid kit actually gives you. So remember, it's always your medical first and your radioactive second if you're going to be stacking your experimental medkits. These medkits can be pretty expensive for uranium, so you don't want to be wasting that in the process. As well, when you're using the radioactive first aid kits, you really want to be using some sort of a simple first aid kit in order to negate that radioactive damage in the process. So, I want to know, my dudes, what do you think about the new experimental medkits? Do you think that they're fun to use? Do you use them at all? Are you still grinding for them? Let me know in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace out, my dudes.